everyone, so today I'm going to be bringing you my MBR, my Might Be Read for Nonfiction November. You may have noticed that I've been missing in action for a little bit. It feels like ages since I've sat down in front of the camera. That's because I got really ill and I lost my voice. I literally woke up one morning and I could not speak. This is the best my voice has been in a while and it is still quite weak. Nonfiction November is a readathon that is being hosted by Olive and Gemma, whose channels I will link down below. They have great channels, so if you're not already subscribed, you should go and check them out. The idea behind Nonfiction November is just to read more nonfiction than you normally do. So if you don't read any nonfiction at all, try and pick up one book this month. You tend to pick up a couple, maybe push for a third or a fourth. If you read a ton of nonfiction, really challenge yourself and go for the different categories that they have suggested that we look into for the readathon. Categories are new, fascinating, controversial, and important. I'm not going to focus on the categories too much. I'm not a massive nonfiction reader, so I'm just going to try and get a couple of nonfiction books read throughout the month, and these are a few of the books that I'm going to be choosing from. First up, I want to finish a couple books that I'm around halfway through, the first of which is You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson. Phoebe is a stand-up comedian. She is also a woman of colour. This is an essay collection about pop culture, race and gender and how all of those different things intersect. So far, I'm really enjoying this book and I'm finding it both funny and informative, so I really hope I enjoy the second half of it just as much. Next up, I really want to finish Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. I'm about halfway through it. I tried to read it during the Diversathon and I tried to read it in On Voices October, and I'm hoping I will actually finish it off this month. How long it's taking me to read it is absolutely no reflection of the quality of it. I just have really struggled to fit it in amongst university reading and stuff. That's something I really appreciate about nonfiction though, the fact I find it a lot easier to dip in and out of it than I do with fiction. If I'm reading a nonfiction book over a very extended amount of time, I don't feel disconnected from it in the same way I would with a novel. There are a couple of books that are kind of high up on my priorities of books that I would like to get to in Nonfiction November. The first of which is Another Day in the Death of America by Gary Young. Gary Young is a journalist and he picked a random day of the year and decided to look at all of the people that died as a result of gun crime in the United States on that particular day. I think this is going to be a really important book, and this is a topic that I have opinions on without really knowing many of the statistics of it. I have a lot of opinions on this issue without being particularly informed, but I don't feel like I don't need to have that in-depth of a knowledge to know what my stance is. And I'm pretty sure this book will be in line with my stance on the issue, but I think it's going to be really informative and really seriously important. Next, I really want to read Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. You may know Trevor Noah as the host of The Daily Show, or like me, you might be a little bit snobby about the fact you knew who he was before The Daily Show. If you don't know anything about him at all, he is a South African comedian, and the origin of the title of this book comes from the fact he was literally born from what was considered a crime. His father was a white Swiss man and his mother was a black South African woman. At the time, such a union was punishable by 5 years in prison. His mother essentially had to keep Trevor a secret. His life story sounds incredibly important and like nothing I've ever read about before. I know shamefully little about apartheid and the situation in South Africa, so I'm really looking forward to picking this up and informing myself. And now I want to talk about a few books that are a bit of a lesser priority for me, but ideally I would like to get to these books really soon. The first of which is Emer O'Toole's Girls Will Be Girls. I am all about the gender-based nonfiction. I absolutely love it. I never tire of it. This book is predominantly about the gender roles we play and how we perform our gender. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to this one when I can. Spinster by Kate Bollock, which I spoke about fairly recently. This is about reclaiming the word spinster and what it's like to be a single woman in the modern age. What it means to have it all. Yeah, I would really like to get to this one soon, but again, whether it happens in Nonfiction November or not is another matter altogether. I would really like to get to I Can Make You Hate by Charlie Brooker. I have become obsessed with Black Mirror all over again. Black Mirror is one of my favourite shows of all time, if not my favourite show of all time. Season 3, Episode 4. Jesus Christ, my heart. I've never actually read any of Charlie Brooker's books, so I would really like to get to that book soon. And In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. Yeonmi Park is a young woman who escaped from North Korea, and this is basically her life story about her experiences there and how she escaped, and a set of experiences that I kind of know shamefully little about. So yeah, that is my MBR for Nonfiction November. There are some books that I really will try my best to get to, and I really want to prioritize and get at least those ones done. Some books that are a bit lesser of a priority, but I will see if I can slot them in if I can. I think Nonfiction November is a really great way for us to continue the conversation and engagement with diversity that has been going on lately on BookTube. Obviously, not all nonfiction is about people with different backgrounds from you, etc. It can just be about a topic that is unfamiliar to you. But I think for me, I'm trying to use it as an opportunity to read more diversely, continuously. I really didn't have a great Own Voices October, purely because I didn't have the time to stray from the course books I was reading very much. Let me know what you're reading in Nonfiction November, and if you have a TBR for it, I will be sure to check it out. I feel like I need to stop speaking now because my voice feels like it is about to break.